Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Sam and today I'm going to talk about how to decide which US dentistry related courses to pursue as a foreign trained dentist, along with the cost or tuition, time and salaries for each of them in 2021. Being a foreign trained dentist myself, I have gone through this extremely confusing phase, and that is the reason why I decided to make this video so I can help people like you and me. I have been asked multiple times about my whole experience and how to figure things out. And yes, I love being a dentist here in Seattle, Washington. It is a very fulfilling career if you have always wanted to help people. It can be stressful at times, but then which career is it, right? Now, if you graduated from a dental school from outside the USA like me and are wondering about what to do next, then I'm going to guide you through this. So I found out all of the information after reading a ton of different websites and meeting counselors, talking to friends and seniors, taking classes, and it was very overwhelming to start with. Now, coming to the US for studying is quite expensive, and added with the struggles of immigration, it can be quite confusing. And this decision is especially important as it will determine how you can manage your finances in order to apply for a US school. So let's see how we based our decision, okay? So step one is identifying what are your reasons for coming to the US. Maybe you have a family in the US for a long time, and this is possibly the best scenario. They are green card holders or citizens, then they can be the co-signers for your dental school loans in USA. The second scenario, maybe you want to experience a new culture and don't want to live in your home country, or you just don't want to practice dentistry in your country. This sounds like a great idea when you see happy pictures of your friends on social media who might have moved here, but in reality, it can be quite hard because unlike some other courses, a dental school course can be extremely busy and time-consuming. The lectures, the clinics, the labs, and studying can take up most of your time. Part-time work along with study is not possible as you have tests and assignments and lab submissions almost every week. And these can take up extra time after regular college hours too. Now, having said that, you will obviously get some vacation time of about 1 to 2 weeks in spring, in summer, in winter, and rare free weekends when you may work to earn some money or just relax after the tiring days in college. Now, your third scenario might be where your fiance or your spouse is in the US. And if they are on a visa, you need to remember that they cannot be the co-signers for your loans. But of course, your spouse can still sponsor your full or even part of the education in cash if it is possible for them. Now, step two in our decision making is your long-term goal. Now, do you want to move to the US for the rest of your life, or you intend to go back after school? If you intend to go back to your country after school, then taking up an MS course would be a better option as it would have better scope in your country. It's extremely competitive in the US because even the US grads are also applying for these MS courses, and frankly, they are preferred by universities. But still, international grads also do take MS course. Now remember, it costs about the same amount of money or even more for the MS option sometimes. And I will be happy to walk you through these in my different videos. You may even consider taking, certain non-clinical courses as they have less tuition or they cost less and have substantial returns on investment. Now, if you intend to stay in the US forever, then just an MS course will allow you to practice only in certain states in USA, and the rules keep on changing, so you have to check the individual state dental websites before you plan. And if you want to move to, let's say, other states than these certain states, then you will need to do a DDS or DMD program in addition to your MS, or you may just start with DDS or DMD alone to practice in every state in US like me. And the third step, which is going to lead you to your most important decision. Is ask yourself whether you want to go for a clinical or non-clinical fields. Since dental schools are expensive and getting loans is hard, many international dentists do choose non-clinical fields initially to save up money for joining dental schools in US later on. So let's start with these options first. In the non-clinical fields, the first option that I'm going to discuss about is research, medical or dental research. Now you can apply for universities for PhD programs and eventually get placed in pharmaceutical companies or work in genetics and research and development, etc. There are also different tech jobs in dentistry and medicine too. Like for example, medical transcriptionist. In addition to having a high school diploma, you'll need a medical transcription training, which can take anywhere from about 6 months to 2 years. The other tech job would be becoming a medical coder. You'll need a high school diploma or its equivalent along with certification from organizations like American Academy of Professional Coders. The third tech job is basically for a technician. It's biomedical equipment technician. Now this person's job is to inspect, maintain and repair the equipment, keep it working in proper condition in order to minimize downtime in hospitals and clinics. Another technical job is health information technician. Now this person basically compiles and processes and maintains the medical records of health organization. There's also a technician job in pharmacy. Basically, the pharmacy tech is a person who is the main go-to person between customers and pharmacists, and they help in setting up consultations and conveying information. Now, to become a pharmacy tech, you would need to have your basic high school diploma or GED, and in some states, you may also require to pass a certification exam. Another option in the non-clinical fields is insurance claims examiner. Now, this person basically studies the patient's policies, either medical or dental policies, and decides what procedures which were completed are actually covered and which ones are not covered, and basically check that their medical documentation supports the claim that was made against their policy. There is also health information technician. This person basically ensures that the hospital or clinic practices are to par with all the legal requirements and industry regulations. Now, I am giving you a range because one university may charge, let's say, around $4,000 for one course, but if you go to another, like for example Harvard, then you may be charged $10,000 for the same course. Now, let's talk about hospital-related healthcare jobs. Healthcare administrator, medical administrative assistant, or a patient advocate. A healthcare administrator basically oversees the day-to-day operations of the healthcare organization and planning and supervising medical service programs and ensuring that they fit within the organization's budget. For these jobs, you will need MPH or MHA degrees, which can be around 2 years to 3 years. If all of these non-clinical fields don't excite you as much, then you may think about clinical fields. Most of you are probably waiting for this part. So the first clinical field that I'm going to discuss today is the dental assistant. The estimated tuition for a dental assistant can be around $3,000 to $13,000. Now, the course duration for a dental assistant program can be anywhere from 16 weeks to 9 months. Now, the pay scale for a dental assistant is about $40,000 to $50,000 per year. The second clinical field is dental hygienist. Now, a dental hygienist basically does the cleanings, the patient education, and takes x-rays, and in some states, they also have certain more functions, and the pay scale for a dental hygienist is $90,000 to $100,000 per year. Third option is a general dentist or an internationally trained dentist. You would basically need to join an accredited dental school for advanced placement of DDS or DMD programs. The fourth option is becoming a MS dentist. You would again have to join an accredited dental school for MS programs. Now, remember that MS programs like endodontics, pedodontics, periodontics, orthodontics, etc. do accept international students, but OS programs only consider US, DDS, or DMD graduates. The estimated tuition for international dentists is similar to the general dentistry program, like $250,000 to $300,000. Now the pay scale is a little bit higher for an MS dentist. Now let's see an example from India. Most Indian banks will grant an education loan of about 20 to 25 lakhs in India, and it will cover only a quarter of your tuition for the year. So you will need to make arrangements for the rest. That means 200 to 250,000 of your tuition, as well as all the living expenses in the US on your own from India. Yes, all of the numbers that I mentioned before do not include the living expenses. So you need to add your own living expenses to those, because US banks will not lend huge loans for international students unless you have a green card or a citizen cosigner. So the choice is yours. Now, depending on your choice and your lifestyle, you will need few years to repay these loans. Now, smaller the loan, easier it is to repay. But you have to remember that living in the US is also expensive. So all of that money, the numbers that I said, pay scale per year that you earn, is not going into loan repayment right away. Your expenses will include, let's say, work-related expenses like license renewals, professional liability insurance, professional disability insurance, your medical and dental insurances, and most importantly, your continuing education courses. And then the other expenses will include home mortgage, car loans, childcare, living expenses, vacation expenses, and taxes. And savings and investments can very well take up about 2/3 or more of your income. Now, depending on all of this, you may be left with 1/3 of your pay per year for repaying your loans, and may take a few years to repay them. And typically, the costs for dentists are slightly higher than the other fields that I mentioned. For example, a license renewal for a dentist would be $400 versus a license renewal for an assistant, which would be around like $80 or $90. Now, considering all of this, you might be wondering like, oh my God, this sounds expensive, and is it doable? And the answer is yes. If you manage your finances well, then you can aggressively repay your loans within 3 to 5 years or more, depending on how you're repaying. Step 4 in your decision making is during your application process. For each of the courses that I just mentioned, either clinical or non-clinical, identify the universities that you are interested in. How will you do this? You can do this based on where you want to live in the USA, or if you have relatives in certain parts of USA, or plain just choose a university with a good ranking and less tuition. And finally, just start applying. Now, if you take up the DDS route, then please check out my next video on how to get a dental license in USA as an international dentist, and also another one on how to get loans for dental school. My goal is to give you as much information as possible out there and help you all in achieving your American dreams. So if you found this video helpful, then please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below or email me. Also, I would love to know what are your reasons for coming to the US. My contact details are listed in the information below. Adios for now.